spectacles, testicles, wallet, and all right, everybody, this is Eros with www.unhappybanana.com, and I am not going to talk to you about the clothing line or any of that stuff. This is not a shameless self-promotional video here. I'm actually going to talk to you about my later in life diagnosis with autism. I'm 37 years old, and I just got my diagnosis not that long ago. Actually got my second diagnosis, but it's been a long time coming. In actuality, when I started this journey, it was over a year ago. I set these appointments up over a year ago and finally got in there because it's just something that you always know. It's always in the back of your mind. It's and the older that I got, the bigger the differences were. So, I don't know why they call it high functioning autism, because there's nothing like really high functioning about it. It has its good points and its bad points. So good points, laser focus. I can concentrate on pretty much only the things that I like, or, like kind of okay on the things that I have to do. But I also miss a lot of other things.
Oh, you want to see my butt?
I have irrational fears. Also too, it's very hard to find people to communicate with. Like, this is far from being able to have like a normal life or a normal existence. So, long story short, started out when I was younger. Obviously, ever since I was born, straight from the womb. But I have always been wearing masks. And as I was younger, or like 5, starting to articulate things, I had massive social anxiety, and I would wear masks all the time, like a Jason mask, and those masks went from real masks to ones that people can't notice that you're wearing, like a superhero or movie character, or, these masks were things that were parts of myself in order to interact with people in the real world, which, if you have autism, you're very familiar with. Now, I didn't want to actually go get a diagnosis because, like, my whole life, I've been told that, if there's something wrong with you, that, you're retarded. And I didn't want to think of myself as being retarded. Who does? Because at 37, if you grew up in my era, like, people picked on you pretty hard. It was pretty tough to go through life with having a difference or a disability. Not only with the autism, I have ADD and ADHD, and I didn't pass high school, and it wasn't because I was stupid by any means. It just wasn't interesting to me. All right, sorry about that. My video recording has stopped automatically, and it decided to have a screen that says that it stopped automatically. Why couldn't it just stop without the screen? Wouldn't that be just perfect? Yeah, it would be. But I ended up getting my GED and stuff. It only took me a couple weeks to study to pass the tests, which I thought was kind of funny. Like, my whole high school 4 years can be summed up into 5 tests. And they weren't very hard either. So, and then when I went to college for welding. I loved welding. It was just, I got sick of working 7 days a week with people who were miserable. Like I needed to get out of that environment. So I found myself as a fitness trainer, and I so thought that I would love doing this for like the rest of my life. And I couldn't have been more wrong, because the more I did this in high volume, the more drained I was. Like, I was totally drained, and I was suffering severe burnout to the point where I was like completely useless to do anything. I would just lay in bed, just like zombie mode, like.
Power's out.
Your father must be sleeping on his side again.
Pretty much Homer Simpson, except with my eyes open, wishing that I could do something. I mean, so I cut back on that and started to get into digital creation, photography, more creative things that involved less socializing. Now, I love fitness training. I just don't love doing it 6-7 days a week. I can only handle so much of it at a time without it causing detrimental health issues to me. And this whole journey has been just crazy, because when I decided to go get tested for autism, it was because I was listening to a podcast. I have no idea whose podcast I was listening to, and they basically stated that, if you have autistic children, autism can be passed from parent to child. And I was like, that's interesting, because 2 out of the 3 children that I have are confirmed to be on the spectrum. So 1 nonverbal and 1 high functioning. And I have similar behaviors with, the high functioning one. And I decided that maybe I should take one of the online tests that was in the link in the description of this video, because that was like their suggestion, like take a test online. I mean, it could kind of see if you are or are not, but don't take it too seriously until you get an actual diagnosis. So I took the test, and son of a bitch, it was like 98% chance that you're autistic. And I was like, fuck, dude, seriously? So I took another test, and then I took another test, and then another test, and then I took a whole bunch of these freaking tests, and they were all like 90% or above that I was autistic. Then I looked into it more and decided to call my doctor and ask her, like, hey, can I get a referral to go get tested for autism at some place? She's like very confused. It took her a second to actually answer, because I could tell she's never been really asked this before. So, which kind of made it a little bit more awkward, but like, I'm an awkward person. I just roll with it. That's just part of who I am. And she was like, sure, why not? Couldn't hurt. And then I went through this long list of places on my insurance to find there's only a few places in my state that actually do adult assessments with my insurance. So it took me like a week of calling people, because it was a huge list. It's not like they say, yo, we do adult testing for autism. It'd be like Mary Sue's health practice, blah, blah, blah. So calling all of these, you could imagine it was like I was running into like one dead spot into another one, like just running into brick walls, getting nowhere, chasing around my tail if I were, a dog. But I'm not a dog, and that's okay. It's okay to not be a dog. It's okay to be an autistic human. Just remember that, kids. So yeah, I get in there, I do these tests, and this last test that I did was so frustrating. Like, all of the autistic characteristics that I've tried to mask, knowingly or unknowingly, like all of those autistic characteristics came right out. That mask went right the off. And I ended up crying, rocking back and forth with my fingers in my fucking ears, dude. Talk about embarrassing. And I pretty much cried all the way home. So yeah, that right there was confirmation for me. But when I went in to go get those results, yeah, it was confirmed again. Now, what are my hopes with this channel? I hope to, well, promote autism awareness, maybe get in touch with more people in the community, learn more. I'm a student to life. I love learning, you know, and I'm rather new to this, but I would like to find some way to help other people out. And that's where I strive to be. So if I can find a way to help other people with my story, with other things that have happened in my life, you know, I would say that that would be, you know, a good thing, a positive outlet, because there's a lot of struggles here. And if I could reach somebody, speak to somebody, I would very much find fulfillment in that. And who knows, whatever else the future holds. Again, but I appreciate you. If these words resonate with you, please like and subscribe. I appreciate that. I'm not going to finish with this shameless self-promotion, but if you're out there and you're listening, and this means something to you, like and subscribe. And I don't know how to really finish these, so see you in the next one. Bye.